Um, another day in the life, another day in the journey. Doing these videos to motivate, to inspire, to encourage. Okay, so what I want to talk about is yesterday I said something about, all right, it makes no sense. Every fighter knows that, in order to have the best chance of winning, you got to prepare, you got to train. And why don't we use that same mentality when it comes to work, when it comes to when you're in between jobs, in between careers, in between business deals, in between opportunities? Why don't we have the mentality like that professional trainer, professional fighter, basically the mentality of, look, in the meantime, until I get my next opportunity, I'm going to be training, I'm going to be um, physically training, so that way I can have the energy that's needed. And I'm also going to be mentally training through reading books, becoming stronger and wiser, becoming more knowledgeable. I'm going to also, I'm going to also be sparring in the market, doing little jobs and opportunities that can help me to advance my skill level until I get that next business deal or whatever you're looking for. Why don't we have that mindset when it comes to our life? And you know what? And you know what happens because we don't have that mindset? We get knocked down. We get in that ring and we think, oh, when the opportunity comes, we think, oh, we're just going to just dominate the opportunity because you've been waiting for it forever. But you're not physically prepared for the opportunity. You're not mentally prepared, for the job or the career or the opportunity. And you get an opportunity, a career, and it ends up wearing you out. It ends up beating the brakes off you. Just like if you were a fighter that got into the ring and you didn't prepare yourself, you get the brakes beaten off of you. So we do the same thing. But it's like, just because I think the problem is that we attach our value and our identity to the job that we have at the time. And that's why when you end up losing that job and you end up having to go to another job, what happens is that after you lose the job, you end up, your self-esteem goes down. You stop keeping up with yourself. You start working out. You stop mentally progressing. But if boxers know they got to do strengthening and conditioning, and they got to do some sparring, if you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur, waiting on a business, waiting on a deal of any type of sort, you got to know that you got to do some sparring. You got to do some, strengthening and conditioning in the meantime, between time. You can't expect to just be ready for the opportunity, to seek the opportunity and just be ready for it and just dominate it just because you wanted it real bad. It doesn't work like that. You got to prepare yourself. I think you should read and study everything about the field that you're going in. You should make that a practice to read voraciously through all the books, through all the courses. And also at the same time, you should prepare yourself physically. If the opportunity that you're waiting on involves, physical labor, look, you need to be working out. You need to be going to the gym. You need to be running. You need to be exercising. You need to be preparing yourself so you can dominate the opportunity when it comes, that you dominate. Because listen, until that professional fighter dominates, you can't go to the next level. The only reason people can, only reason these boxers and these fighters can go to the next level and get championships and end up going up another class is because they dominate. They dominate. They weren't just ready. They didn't just survive the opportunity that was in front of them, but they beat the opportunity in front of them. They diminished the opportunity that was in front of them. So they had to go to the next level. And there was reward. Their status of living ended up going up. And all those things end up happening because that fighter was prepared. That's what I'm telling you, is that if you prepare, listen, if you prepare, you can go to the next level. But if you don't prepare, you're gonna end up getting knocked out, knocked down. You'll get beat up so many times. You're gonna be discouraged because you're not learning the lesson. The lesson is that if you're not ready for this level of fighter, if you're not ready for this level of fight, this opportunity is gonna bring to you. You're gonna get knocked out by it, and you're gonna go back to the same place where you started from. And if you're trying to get to the next level, that means when you meet this opportunity, you got to dominate, you got to fight, you got to beat it up so bad that you'll never see it again. So that's what fighters do. That's what fighters do. When they fight, they got, they more than prepare themselves so that way they can dominate they can dominate that fight. You got to look at your opportunity like a fighter. That's what you got to look at. You got to look at it like your adversary, that you're going in the ring to fight. And whether it's a business that you're trying to take over, whether it's a real estate deal, whether it's sales, whether whatever it is, you got to look at your opportunity as a fighter, and you got to come in there knowing more than the other person knows. You got to come in there being more physically fit, more mentally fit. You got to come in there just knowing that it's all yours. The victory is all yours, and you got to come in prepared. You can't be thinking. You can't be trying to figure out your market. You got competitors in your market. You can't be trying to figure it out. You need to be sparring. The main thing that a boxer does, on while they're preparing for their next fight, their next opportunity, they got the faith to just spar. They spend days, they spend hours every day sparring, training, running, cardio, strength and conditioning. They do all of these different things because they know when they get in that ring again, they want to dominate. And that's the way that we got to be. Why did you stop studying? Why did you stop reading? Because you lost a job, because you got fired from your job, or you got to go into a new career, or you lost the opportunity that you thought you were going to have. You need to strengthen your mind. You need to condition your mind through reading a lot of books. You need to be able to, physically work out so that way you have the endurance and the energy that's needed to be able to maneuver, to be able to travel, to be able to just, do what you got to do. So you got to strengthen condition. You got to strengthen condition your mind and your body, and at the same time, you need to be sparring in the ring. It's not going to hurt you to take on some opportunities, like that allow you to make a couple of dollars in the meantime, between time, while you're preparing yourself for the opportunity. Like for example, if Floyd wants to work on his defense, or if he wants to work on throwing his whatever, what I'm saying, fighting and throwing the shots and sparring shots and stuff like that, he does that. Everything that he does in that ring, he already practices before he even gets to the fight. Every single, I'm talking about everything. And it's like, that's the same thing we need to do. If you're a salesperson, even if you don't have a job, you need to be trying to sell something. You need to be working on your pitches. You need to be working on your rebuttals. You need to do something. Right now, I'm over here, I got these Whoop Connect tablets. And what this thing is preparing me for the market, because it's a market in itself, talking to people, and it's helping me. This is my sparring right here. This is my sparring. My reading that I do every day is my strength and conditioning, and then I do my cardio, I do my workouts, I do my runs. But this is my sparring. That's all it is. I'm making a couple bucks with it, and at the same time, I'm sparring. I'm staying hot, familiar with the market, and that's what you got to do. You got to keep yourself going, because if you don't keep yourself going, you're gonna find yourself being disappointed when an opportunity does come, when the investor does say yes, and they do give you a shot, they do invest their money, or they do give you an opportunity to take over a business or a real estate deal, and you do not produce because you weren't ready to produce. You got knocked out, you got knocked back on your feet. Your self-esteem is gonna go back down. Why? Because you was not ready for that level. In order to dominate on the next level, in order to go to the next level, you got to be more than ready. You got to be more than ready. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. You got to be more than ready, man. I don't know what to tell you. You got to be more than ready. There's so many people that expect to go to the next level in life because they got a new job. You're kidding yourself, man. Just because you got a new job don't mean you at the next level. Just because you bought a new car or you got a new house doesn't mean you're at the next level. In order to get to the next level, you got to elevate there spiritually, mentally, physically. That's how you go to the next level. You don't just go to the next level because you got hired at a job, and then so what ends up happening is they end up giving you a shot. They end up giving you a probationary period to prove yourself on that job, and you end up upgrading your car and your house because you think you done made it, like the Huxtables, and you think you going to the promised land now. And what ends up happening is that you underperform what they expected of you, and you end up getting fired, and now you're back at the bottom. You're pushed back in life, and you feel like you want to just you want to just allow yourself to just get strung out on and on substances and all these other things, man, because your self-esteem is back down because you didn't invest in yourself. You weren't even ready for that opportunity. You just got it. You just got it by chance, but you didn't elevate internally to that level that you're at. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to get in a new mentality. Like, listen, I want to elevate. I want to elevate because when you elevate, listen, when you elevate, you're there. When you develop yourself and you go to the next level, you stay at the next level. Because you got it from the inside out. And so you don't want to just look like a tree that has some fruit on it, but you ain't got jack. you really want to have what you're talking about you got. Listen, I hope that helps somebody, and you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. In Jesus' name, God bless you.